Welcome to the session number 2 in model number Introduction and Basic Materials Used in Foundry. In session number 1, we will discuss about what do you mean by manufacturing process, and is mainly conversion of raw materials into finished goods, and then classification of manufacturing process. In this main classification of manufacturing process, casting process, forming process, machining process, and joining process already discussed in detail. And then selection of a process for production, different criteria also we will discuss in session number 1. And introduction to casting process, and then different steps involved in making a casting also we will discuss in detail. And then terminologies used in casting, and then what are the variety of components produced in casting, and some advantages and disadvantages of castings is discussed in session number 1. In continuation, in session number 2, we will go for patterns. A pattern is the replica of the object to be cast. It is a tool used to prepare a mold cavity into which the molten metal is poured. A pattern is a tool used to produce the mold cavity. It is the mold making tool. The shape of the pattern is the same as that of the component or casting, but the size will be slightly larger than the casting because of some due to mechanical as well as metallurgical reasons. The size of the casting is reduced. That's why while making the pattern itself you have to give some extra space or margin. Pattern is also referred to as a positive replica of the casting. A number of castings can be made using a single pattern. In this patterns, the main functions of patterns are to produce the mold cavity faithfully, to establish parting line, to promote production of quality castings, to incorporate gating system and riser, to bring economy to the process, to have provision for core prints. These are the main functions of a pattern. And then materials used for patterns. Before selecting a particular material, a few factors are to be considered. There are number of castings to be produced, and then degree of accuracy and surface finish of casting required, shape and size of the casting, reusability of pattern so that they will provide a repeatable, dimensional, acceptable, type of mold material used, that may be clay or resin, etc. And then type of molding selected, either molding should be green sand mold, investment process, etc. Next we'll go for pattern materials. The following materials are used for making patterns. In these different pattern materials are wood, metal, wax, plastics, and finally plaster. We'll discuss one by one. First we will take wood. Well seasoned teak wood is used for preparing the patterns, and then wood is soft, light in weight, and easy to work and takes the shape easily. used for producing smaller number of castings. Large and small patterns can be made easily in wood patterns. It wears out faster, cannot withstand rough handling, and can absorb moisture. That is also one drawback of this wood patterns. Next we'll go for metal patterns. Here metal is stronger than wood but heavier than wood, can maintain dimensions accurately for a very long time. Metals does not absorb moisture. It is the main advantages of metal patterns, and then used to produce large number of castings, and then it has longer life. It is difficult to repair. Bigger size patterns cannot be made using these metal patterns. Next we'll go for wax patterns. It is a low melting point material, imparts good surface finish to the mold, can be recovered and used again and again. This type of patterns used in investment casting molding processes. A combination of paraffin, wax, etc. is used for making the patterns. Next we'll go for plastics. Plastic material is a compromise between wood and metal. Thermostatic resins like phenolic resin, epoxy resin, foam plastic, etc. are used as materials for making the patterns. It is strong and light in weight. Does not absorb moisture during its usage and storage. Plastic patterns are gives good surface finish to castings. Thinner sections are difficult to cast using these plastics. Initially, plastic patterns have to be cast and finished to the desired shape and size. This leads to the increase in cost of the final cast product. Last one is plaster. It's also called gypsum or plaster of Paris. Gypsum or plaster of Paris is another pattern material capable of producing that is very complex or intricate castings to close dimensional tolerances. They are strong, light in weight, easily shaped, gives good surface finish. However, they used for small castings only. Plaster readily mixes with water and when allowed sets and becomes hard. Normally, plaster used for producing master dies and molds. These are the different pattern materials for preparing pattern. Next we'll go for pattern allowance and their importance. Here pattern has the same shape as that of the casting, but the dimensions will be generally more than that of the casting. This extra dimension from the required value given on the pattern is called as allowances. These allowances need to be given on the pattern due to some mechanical as well as metallurgical reasons. The pattern allowance is nothing but due to some mechanical as well as metallurgical reasons, the size of the casting is reduced. while solidification takes place. That's why you have to compensate for that one. You have to give some extra margin or allowances or space to the margin up to the patrons is nothing but patron allowances. In this, there are different types of allowances. The main allowances are shrinkage allowance, draft allowance, machining allowance, scale and grinding allowance, and finally distortion allowances. We'll discuss one by one. In examination point of view, this patron and allowances is very important. First one, we will take shrinkage allowance. Here all metals and alloys undergo decrease in volume when cooled from liquid temperature to room temperature. This change in volume of metal or alloy is called as shrinkage. Here as the figure shows the variation of shrinkage of metal versus temperature. Here in y-axis shows the shrinkage and then x-axis is temperature. Here figure shows the variation of shrinkage as a function of temperature. As the molten metal is cooled from its superheat temperature, the volume starts decreasing continuously till it reaches room temperature. This is natural phenomena. Shrinkage of metal or alloy takes place in 3 stages, that is liquid to liquid, and then liquid to solid, and then solid to solid. The first 2 are taken care of by providing risers in the castings in first 2, and then the last one is taken care of by providing some shrinkage allowances on the patron. This is also referred to as patron shrinkage allowance. The value of this depends on the nature of the metal or alloy. These allowances, when given onto the patron, will increase its size. Patron maker's scale is available to facilitate easy and direct measurement. And then some of the patron shrinkage of some metals are, for example, I will take for cast metal, for 100 mm of length you have to give 3 to 5 mm of the shrinkage allowances, and then for aluminium for 100 mm of length you have to give some 3 to 4 mm of shrinkage allowances, and then for cast iron for 100 mm of length you have to give 2 to 3 mm of shrinkage allowances. And the next one is draft allowances. Here first figure A shows the without the draft allowances, and then figure B shows with draft allowances. Here in figure A, it is the allowances given to the vertical surface of the patron to facilitate easy removal of the patron from the mold cavity. In figure A shows without casting any damage to the mold. Okay, in this allowances is not given. While removing the patron from the mold surface, and then the length is more, while removing the patron we will damage the adjacent surface of the molding surface. This is the damage caused while removing this patron. You have to compensate for that one. You have to give some margin or allowances, that is in term of taper or draft allowance. Here see, this is the shape of the patron. The dotted line shows the exact size of the patron, and then whatever the extra taper portion, draft or taper, that is extra material provided on the patron. This is the dotted line I will show. This is extra portion on both sides. This while removing will not damage to the adjacent surface of the mold surface. That is figure B shows the patron with draft. And then whatever is extra material, after removing the casting, while machining you have to remove the extra material. The final shape required is this type of casting. That is, you have to provide some taper allowances or draft allowances. You can easily remove from the mold surface. Next we will go for machining allowance. Here most of the castings will have more than one surface that needs machining. The dimensions gets reduced after machining. Hence the size of the pattern is made larger than required. During machining, this extra material and the casting is removed. This allowance depends on the nature of the metal and the dimensions of the casting. Here, for example, we will take typical machining allowances are depends upon the metal. It is cast iron is around 1 to 10 mm, and then cast steel 3 to 12 mm, and then aluminium 1.5 to 4.5 mm, and then alloys 1.5 to 4.5 mm, brass and bronze 1.5 to 5 mm, etc. Next allowances is scale and grinding allowance. Here most of the castings undergo heat treatment, and then due to higher temperatures some scales are formed on the surface of the casting. This needs to be removed by grinding operation. In addition, sometimes surface roughness or imperfections needs to be removed by grinding operation. Hence the size of the casting is made slightly bigger than the required to accommodate this. The magnitude of this extra allowance is around 0.2 to 3 mm. This is nothing but scale and grinding allowances. And then last one is distortion allowance. Here figure shows the without distortion allowance and then with distortion allowance. Here castings having shapes such as C type or U, and then some large plates lose their shapes during solidification. The loss of shape is referred to as distortion, and then this is due to some shrinkage stresses present during solidification. To take care of this, the pattern is given an allowance in the direction opposite to the expected distortion. This is referred to as distortion allowance. More or experience is essential in addition to design knowledge in arriving to these allowances. In sketch, in this one is without distortion. This is the before you have to make this pattern. After casting, you will bend like this. This is the defect one. Okay, you have to compensate for this one. Initially, you have to give some allowances in the opposite direction. See, you have to give allowances in opposite direction. After solidification, required this is castings will be getting. After bending, you will get like this. Okay, so that's why you have to give in opposite direction. Distortions is provided in opposite direction. After solidification, you will get like these castings. Without distortion, okay, you will getting like this type of casting. That's why you have to compensate for that one. Initially, you have to give in opposite direction distortion. After solidification, you will getting this type of casting. Next, we'll go for classification of patterns. Here, patterns are of various types, but the selection of particular type of pattern Particular type of pattern depends upon the type of molding process employed, shape and size of the casting required, and some of the commonly used patterns are discussed here. And then these are the main classification of patterns. It is single piece pattern, it's also called solid pattern, and then split pattern, loose piece pattern, cope and drag pattern, gated pattern, match plate pattern, follow board pattern, skeleton pattern, and then finally sweep pattern. We'll discuss one by one. First we'll take single piece pattern. As the name indicates, here it's also called solid pattern. Here single piece pattern also called solid pattern, the simplest type made in one piece without any joints or loose pieces, used for simple shape and large size castings. It can be made easily as shown in figure. It is a single piece or solid pattern. Next we'll go for split pattern. Here suppose you want to produce circular or intricate shapes. In single piece is not possible to produce, then you will go for two halves. Okay, one half is upper half, okay, another one is lower half. Afterwards you can assemble by using this dowel pin. See, upper half is placed on in one box, is nothing but cope. Another one is placed on drag bags, and then you have to mount on some align some patterns, screw and risers on either sides, and then you have to produce. This is nothing but split pattern. This consists of patterns in two halves joined by a that is using dowel pin. It is used to prepare molds using hand. It is used popularly in hand molding. The split can be at two or more planes. The split in the pattern facilitates easy molding, and then as shown in the sketch. This circular shapes or tumble shapes can be produced in split pattern. And then we'll go for loose piece pattern. Here in loose piece pattern, the pattern consists of main body. This is the main body. Main body to which the small projection pieces are attached. Here A and B are the small projections, and then these pieces can be removed from the mold after removing the main body. After removing this the main body, these extra pieces A and then B you have to remove. This type of pattern is used to get some undercut portions in the casting as shown in sketch. Suppose you require this type of castings, some undercut, okay, it is not possible to produce in single piece, okay, that's why you have to prepare a main body, and then you have to attach some pieces, loose pieces to the main body. Okay, that is the thing. First you have to lift this main body, afterwards you will remove these pieces A and B, afterwards you will get this type of casting. That is nothing but loose piece patterns. Next we will go for cope and drag pattern. As I explained in previous one, split pattern is the same type of cope and drag patterns. Here one half is placed on cope, another half is placed on drag. Is nothing but one and the same. In cope here, this is the center line of the pattern. Okay, this is the first half, upper half, and then lower half, and then you have to join by using dowel pins. One upper half is placed on cope box, another half is on drag box, and then you have to produce. It is basically a two-part pattern, that is also nothing but a split. Each half is fixed to a metal plate separately with gates, runners and risers. The two plates with patterns are used to make molds in a molding machine separately to get bottom and top mold cavities. The bottom portion is called as the drag portion and the top portion is called as the cope portion. Hence the name cope and drag pattern. The two molds are prepared separately using separate machines and then assembled. The type of pattern is used to produce large number of castings as shown in sketch. Next we will go for gated pattern. Here gated patterns here consists of number of patterns attached with runner. Here these are the gates and then this is the pattern, same identical shape of patterns you have to place on either side of the runner. This is the runner and then this consists of number of patterns attached with runner, ingate and sprue and risers. A cope and drag pattern may be used for this purpose. The machine is used for making the molds. More number of castings can be produced per mold. Size of the casting is small. Suppose you have to produce small castings of identical shapes, then you will go for this type of pattern, that is gated pattern. That is common runner, you have to place on either sides identical patterns. In number of patterns, identical patterns is more, then you will go for this type of patterns and then you have to produce the castings. Next we will go for another classification, that is match plate pattern. Here this is the match plate, okay, and then either sides you have to place the patterns and then it consists of two parts of the pattern mounted on either surface of the metal plate. It is basically a split pattern. The two parts are perfectly aligned. It is used in molding machine. Both cope and drag boxes are made in same machine, one after the other. When the two boxes are closed, the desired mold is obtained as shown in sketch. After aligning, by using match plate you have to place that one is the cope and the one is drag. Afterwards you can remove this match plate, you will get the mold cavity. After pouring the molten metal you will get this type of casting. Next one is fellow board pattern. Here this is the fellow board and then this is the pattern. Above the fellow board you can place the pattern. Afterwards you can ram the molding sand up to top level and then here when the shape of the pattern is such that it cannot be held stable in its position, a wooden board conforming to the contour of the pattern is used to rest the same in correct position and molding is carried out. Such a pattern which needs a follow board is referred to as follow board pattern. Follow board holds the pattern till the molding is over. Even for molding thin sections, follow board is used. Suppose you have to produce some thinner sections, then this type of patterns is helpful, is shown in sketch. Next we will go for skeleton pattern. Here skeleton frame is prepared. It consists of a number of wooden pieces assembled together to form a desired shape, just like bones in a human body, that is nothing but a skeleton. The assembly resembles a skeleton. A skeleton portion is then covered with thin boards. This type of arrangement is used for heavy and big castings and the number of required is only a few. material savings for the patron is achieved and the cost of the patron is reduced. Used for simple shapes, for example, you will take when you produce some water pipe bends, frames can be cast easily as shown in sketch. Here first you have to prepare a skeleton frame. After preparing this skeleton frame, afterwards you have to fill the sand, that is skeleton frame filled with loam sand and finished with sickle board. Loam sand is nothing but 50% of the clay sand is nothing but loam sand and then filled with loam sand. After fill the entire surface by using this sickle board, this is the will swipe about this surface. You can remove extra material or loam sand you can remove by using this. Now when you required some patterns, that is simple shapes, then you will go for this type of patterns, that is the skeleton pattern. Next last type is sweep pattern. Here as shown in sketch, makes the use of thin board of wood conforming to the outer contour of casting. It is used when the casting has a surface of revolution contour such as cylindrical, bell shape, etc. Can be used for small or big castings, and the number of castings is not a problem. Saves pattern material, and then it is easy to handle and store. It can be used for making cores, as the figure shows the sweep pattern. See here, this is the center of the box. We can here spindle is attached, and then this spindle may be revolved at the contour. This is the sweep, that is wooden board. You can fix it here on the top of this spindle, and then this is the attachment. And then this wooden board is prepared as per the shape of the casting. After filling the sand to this level, to the top level, afterwards after filling the sand, you can revolve this spindle. You rotate this spindle, and then contour, and then this is the cavity. After revolving, you will get the cavity. Finally, you can remove this spindle, you will get a cavity. Then you will pour the molten metal, and then you will get a castings. Suppose you want to produce some cylindrical or bell shape, then you will go for this type of patterns, and then you can produce the castings easily. And then BIS color coding for patterns. Here BIS color coding for patterns is nothing but for easy recognition of different portion of the patterns. Standard color codes have been recommended for the finished wooden pattern. The standard color code adopted by American Foundrymen Society, that is AFS, is being used all over the world. Each color conveys how the castings will be. BIS is nothing but Bureau of Indian Standards. They will adopt some colors for easy identification, and then each color represents this one here. And then suppose the color is black, then the casting surface is to be left unfinished, and then the color is red, then the surface of casting to be machined, and then red stripes on yellow background, that is nothing but loose pieces and seeds, and then the color yellow, that is core prints and seeds for loose core prints, and then diagonal black stripes on a yellow case, that means the staff or that is portion of the pattern that form a cavity which are filled with sand before pouring. The reinforcements to prevent delicate portions of the pattern. Here, due to extensive use of metals and plastic patterns, the color code is used less in nowadays. Uh, Thank you for patience listening. I'll end up here.